Money has a language. It listens, it responds, and it obeys those who know how to call it. Most people chase money their whole lives, never realizing that money itself is constantly listening to the vibration of their beliefs, the tone of their emotions, and the clarity of their intentions. The truth is, money doesn't come because you work harder. It comes because you've built a mental environment that welcomes it. When you treat money like a stranger, it stays distant. But when you learn to call it by name, when you talk to it, respect it, and invite it into your life, it starts moving toward you almost magnetically. The idea that money is yours may sound mystical, but it's rooted in psychological reality. Your thoughts are signals. Every belief you hold about abundance or scarcity is a command you're sending out into the world. Most people send mixed messages. They say they want more money, yet they fear losing it. They dream of wealth, yet they secretly resent those who have it. These contradictions create static in the signal, confusion in the vibration, and money doesn't know where to go. But when you become internally aligned, when every part of your being speaks the same financial language, money hears you clearly. It starts responding not because of luck, but because your mindset has finally tuned into the right frequency. Think about how you treat money in daily life. Do you count it with gratitude or anxiety? Do you speak of it as a friend or as a burden? Your emotional tone becomes your financial invitation. Money flows to those respect its presence and manage it with consciousness. When you give money a name, when you start speaking to it as a living energy, something changes inside you. You start treating it with awareness, and in return, it begins to treat you with consistency. The relationship transforms from one of neediness to one of partnership. The problem is that most people have been conditioned to fear money or to see it as something outside their control. They don't realize that money is simply an amplifier. It magnifies who you already are. If you are disciplined, focused, and abundant in mindset, money will reflect that. If you are careless, anxious, or scattered, it will mirror that too. The way to shift this is not by forcing money to come, but by becoming someone money naturally gravitates toward. Call it by name and it listens. Recognize it as energy and it responds. When you begin to see money as conscious, every transaction becomes a dialogue, every expense becomes a statement of trust, and every gain a reflection of your alignment. The more clearly and confidently you call your money, the faster it answers. It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is how you think, feel, and speak about it. Because in the end, money always finds its way to those who know how to call it. Money responds to the vibration of your beliefs and emotions. Every financial result you experience, every rise, every fall, every recurring pattern is a direct reflection of the invisible energy you carry toward money. You don't attract or repel money because of random circumstances. You do it because of the emotional signals you constantly emit. Most people don't realize that their financial life is not built from their external actions first, but from the tone of their inner world. Every thought you think about money carries a vibration, and that vibration determines how money behaves in your life. When your beliefs are rooted in fear, scarcity, or limitation, you unconsciously broadcast a frequency that keeps money away. But when your emotions toward money are calm, confident, and expectant, you begin to magnetize opportunities, people, and ideas that naturally lead to more abundance. Money doesn't judge, it simply mirrors. It doesn't care whether you are deserving or not. It only responds to the emotional energy you generate. If you feel anxious when you spend or doubtful when you earn, those emotions signal insecurity, and insecurity always blocks flow. The more emotional tension you attach to money, the harder it becomes to hold on to it. You may work harder, think smarter, plan better, but if your beliefs and emotions remain rooted in fear, your results will keep matching that fear. The vibration of your thoughts creates your financial circumstances, and until that vibration changes, no amount of effort can permanently alter your results. Most people think money is logical, but it's emotional. The markets, economies, and industries may look mathematical, but behind every transaction are human feelings: desire, greed, fear, hope, trust, and doubt. The collective vibration of these emotions creates the movement of money across the world. This is why two people can work in the same field with similar skills and one becomes wealthy while the other struggles. The difference is not in effort, but in energy. One person operates from abundance, believing that money flows easily to them, while the other operates from lack, believing that money is hard to get. Both are right because both are experiencing the world through the vibration of their beliefs. Your beliefs about money were formed long before you earned your first dollar. They were shaped by what you heard growing up, how your parents spoke about bills, how they reacted to success or struggle, and how society conditioned you to see wealth. If you were surrounded by messages like money doesn't grow on trees, rich people are greedy, or you have to struggle to survive, those beliefs live in your subconscious. Even if you consciously want wealth, that inner programming constantly sabotages you because deep down your emotions are out of alignment. To shift your financial vibration, you must first become aware of what you truly believe about money. Ask yourself what emotions arise when you think about it. Do you feel peace or tension? Do you feel empowered or guilty? The answer reveals the vibration you're sending out every day. Once you recognize the emotional tone you carry, you can begin to reshape it. You can train your energy the same way you train your body. Each time you catch yourself thinking, I can't afford this, replace it with money is flowing to me in unexpected ways. Each time you feel fear around expenses, breathe and remind yourself that money is a cycle. It moves, but it always returns. These small emotional corrections gradually raise your vibration and change the energy signal you send. Over time, you'll notice that your financial experiences begin to mirror this shift. Unexpected opportunities appear, unexpected help arrives, and your relationship with money feels lighter and more natural. The key is emotional neutrality. When your emotions about money stop swinging between excitement and fear, you reach a level of calm detachment where abundance becomes stable. It's not about ignoring money, it's about detaching from the neediness and fear that distort your vibration. People who are truly wealthy don't panic when money leaves, because they trust it will return. That trust itself is the vibration that keeps it coming back. The more you trust the flow, the more money feels safe with you. Money likes calm energy. It doesn't like to stay where it's being chased or resented. It stays where it feels respected, appreciated, appreciated and understood, your emotions are like magnets. When you feel grateful for what you already have, you amplify that vibration and attract more experiences that match it. Gratitude is not just a moral virtue, it's a frequency. When you practice gratitude for money, even in small amounts, you're tuning your energy to the frequency of abundance. On the other hand, when you complain, compare, or envy others, you shift into scarcity, and scarcity repels. Money hears every emotion you send out, and it adjusts accordingly. You may not say it aloud, but your emotional state is constantly speaking for you. To truly master the vibration of money, you have to learn emotional awareness. Observe yourself during financial decisions. Notice how you feel when you pay bills, when you receive income, when you invest or save. Do you feel expansion or contraction, joy or tension? Those micro moments reveal everything. The more you cultivate emotional consistency, calm, confident, abundant, the more consistent your external results become. It's not about manipulating money, it's about managing your inner world. When your beliefs and emotions are clean, aligned, and abundant, money flows to you because it recognizes itself in you. It's also important to understand that vibration is not fake positivity. You can't just say affirmations while secretly panicking inside. The energy behind your words matters more than the words themselves. True alignment happens when your thoughts, emotions, and expectations match. When you think rich, feel rich, and act rich, not in arrogance, but in certainty, you create a field that draws abundance naturally. That's how money recognizes your signal. It's not what you say, it's what you feel while you say it. The moment you realize that your emotions and beliefs shape your financial life, you reclaim power. You stop blaming the market, the system, or luck. You start refining your vibration. Every day becomes a practice of emotional alignment. You wake up and choose thoughts that match wealth, gratitude, and confidence. You release fear, scarcity, and guilt. You stop chasing money because you understand that it's already responding to your inner state. When your vibration is right, money can't help but move toward you because it's drawn to the energy that welcomes it. Align your thoughts and feelings to send a clear financial signal. The universe, the market, your business, and even the people around you are constantly responding to the frequency you project. Most people believe that financial growth happens through strategy, timing, and opportunity. But those things only materialize when your inner world is aligned. When your thoughts about money say one thing and your emotions say another, the signal becomes distorted. You might tell yourself that you want to earn more, but if underneath that desire there's doubt, fear, or guilt, your energy sends out confusion. Money doesn't respond to mixed messages, it responds to clarity. To truly align your financial signal, your thoughts, emotions, and expectations must all point in the same direction. The human mind has the power to create reality, but most people don't realize that thinking alone isn't enough. Thoughts are the blueprint, while emotions are the energy that brings the blueprint to life. You can think, I want to be wealthy all day, but if your feelings are dominated by lack, frustration, or jealousy, then the emotional vibration overrides the thought. The emotional body always wins. Energy follows emotion, and emotion follows belief. That's why the first step to financial alignment is awareness of what you truly feel about money. Are you relaxed when you think about it or tense? Do you feel deserving of abundance or secretly afraid of it? Do you associate wealth with peace or with pressure? Every emotional association you hold becomes a piece of the signal you send into the world, and that signal determines what opportunities you attract or repel. You can't hide energy. You can say the right words, post positive quotes, and even act confident, but money doesn't listen to performance. It listens to vibration. If your inner dialogue about money is filled with worry or shame, no amount of external hustle will fix it. You'll keep repeating cycles of gain and loss because the root frequency is unstable. True alignment happens when the mind and heart are synchronized, when what you think, feel, and expect become one unified message. In that state, the universe has no choice but to respond clearly because the signal you're sending is clear. To build alignment, you have to understand the subtle layers of your relationship with money. Thoughts are conscious, but feelings live in the subconscious. That's why people often sabotage their own success. They consciously want wealth, but unconsciously fear it. Maybe they fear responsibility, judgment, or failure. Maybe deep down they believe they don't deserve more. These hidden emotions block the signal like static between two frequencies. When you bring them into awareness, when you acknowledge and release them without judgment, you begin to clean your vibration. You start to broadcast a purer message that you are open, ready, and capable of handling abundance with calm and confidence. Financial clarity is not about forcing yourself to think positively. It's about choosing thoughts that feel aligned with emotional truth. If you don't believe in instant wealth, don't pretend you do. Instead, build belief step by step. Align with thoughts you can emotionally accept, like, I am learning to create more opportunities, or money is becoming easier to manage. When the thought feels believable, the emotion relaxes and the vibration strengthens. Over time, your subconscious begins to accept abundance as normal, not as fantasy. That shift changes everything because your external life always adjusts to match your internal state. Alignment is a practice, not a moment. Every day, the world presents you with choices that either strengthen or weaken your signal. When you worry about bills, you shift into resistance. When you appreciate what's already flowing, you amplify openness. The trick is to stay aware of the emotional tone behind your thoughts. It's not about ignoring problems, it's about responding from a vibration of trust instead of fear. For example, if an unexpected expense arises, most people immediately feel panic, which sends out the vibration of lack. But if you respond with calm acknowledgement, money will circulate back to me easily. You keep your signal steady. The clearer your signal, the faster reality reorganizes to match it. Money is an energy that loves clarity. It flows toward people who know what they want and feel emotionally at peace with receiving it. When you're uncertain, hesitant, or self-contradicting, that uncertainty becomes resistance. Imagine a radio signal. When it's tuned perfectly, the sound is crisp. When it's slightly off, there's static. The same happens in your financial frequency. You might be broadcasting wealth with your words, but your emotions are transmitting fear. The result is a blurred signal that produces inconsistent results. Alignment clears the static, allowing your outer world to mirror the inner one without distortion. One of the fastest ways to align your vibration is through gratitude and emotional honesty. Gratitude immediately shifts you from scarcity to sufficiency. When you genuinely appreciate what you have, you're telling the universe that you already trust the flow of abundance. That trust stabilizes your emotional frequency and strengthens your signal. Emotional honesty, on the other hand, prevents self-deception. If you feel anxious about money, acknowledge it instead of pretending you don't. Suppressed emotions don't disappear, they hide in your energy field and distort your alignment. By facing them openly, you release their power and make space for calm, confident energy to take over. Another part of alignment is expectation. Thoughts and emotions generate energy, but expectation gives it direction. Expectation is the silent message you send after the thought and feeling. You can think, I'll succeed, feel hopeful, but if you secretly expect failure, that's the dominant vibration. Expectation is the bridge between thought and manifestation. To align it, you must train yourself to expect good outcomes even when they haven't shown up yet. Expectation is the emotional posture of faith, the inner knowing that the signal you're sending will return amplified. The more you trust that principle, the stronger and faster your results become. When your thoughts and emotions are aligned, life begins to feel effortless. Opportunities show up without force. People start offering help, ideas click, timing feels perfect. It's not magic, it's resonance. You're no longer working against yourself. Every action you take is supported by emotional harmony. You begin to notice that your choices carry more impact because they're not contaminated by doubt. The signal is clean, and money responds in kind. This alignment is the hidden edge of all consistent success stories. It's the invisible factor that turns effort into results. Alignment also requires emotional consistency in both highs and lows. When things go well, stay balanced. When they don't, stay centered. Many people break alignment when they get too attached to outcomes. They let temporary gains inflate their ego or temporary losses destroy their confidence. But both reactions are emotional noise. The clear signal doesn't swing wildly with circumstances. It stays calm, neutral, and trusting. That steady vibration attracts sustained abundance, not just flashes of it. To live in financial alignment means to live in emotional coherence. It's the art of making your inner world your greatest strategy. The more disciplined you become in harmonizing your thoughts and feelings, the less resistance you face in the outer world. Every decision becomes clearer, every opportunity more visible, every risk more manageable. Alignment doesn't just attract money, it changes how you experience it because you no longer chase it from lack. You invite it from wholeness, and money recognizes that as the clearest signal of all. Treat money as a living energy that mirrors your mindset. Money is not just paper, numbers, or digital figures in a bank account. It is energy that responds to how you think, feel, and behave around it. Every interaction you have with money, whether it's earning, spending, saving, or investing, is a reflection of your internal state. The condition of your finances at any moment mirrors the level of awareness and emotional control you bring to it. Most people think money exists separately from them, something to chase or control, but in truth, it behaves like a mirror, reflecting not what you wish for, but what you truly believe and feel. When you treat money as lifeless or mechanical, you disconnect from its flow. You start managing it from fear and control instead of understanding and respect. But when you begin to see money as energy, an intelligent, responsive, moving force, you shift into partnership with it. Energy thrives on attention, emotion, and intention, and money is no different. The way you think about it and the way you emotionally respond to it creates the frequency it returns with. If your mindset is filled with guilt, worry, or scarcity, money reflects that vibration by showing up inconsistently or leaving as quickly as it arrives. But if your mindset is built on confidence, calmness, and gratitude, money mirrors that stability. It starts staying, growing, and multiplying under awareness. Money reflects your habits of thought. The person who constantly fears losing it is unconsciously training their energy to experience loss. The one who trusts its flow is teaching their subconscious to create opportunities that sustain it. Every belief you hold about money acts like an instruction to the universe. If you believe that money is difficult, that belief gets confirmed. If you believe it can move easily, that belief becomes your experience. The mirror never lies, it only reflects what stands before it. So if your financial reality seems unstable, it's not the mirror that needs cleaning, it's your inner perception of what money represents. Your relationship with money is a living reflection of your self-worth. Money doesn't measure your value, it reveals how you value yourself. When you feel undeserving of abundance, money senses that vibration and keeps its distance. When you respect your own worth, money feels safe around you. It doesn't want to stay where it's being resented or misused. It wants to stay where it's respected, appreciated, and understood. That's why those who treat money consciously, tracking it, managing it wisely, and expressing gratitude for it naturally attract more. They are not worshiping it, they are honoring its energy. Respect is the highest form of vibration you can offer to anything, and money responds to that like a loyal friend. When you treat money as energy, every transaction becomes sacred. How you spend it determines whether it expands or contracts. When you spend with guilt or fear, you contract your vibration. You tell the universe that resources are running out. But when you spend with joy, gratitude, and trust, you keep the energy of money alive and flowing. Money loves circulation. It needs movement to stay vital. The more freely it moves through your life with awareness, the more it multiplies. Energy that stagnates dies, and money that's hoarded out of fear eventually finds a way to leave. But money that's managed with intention grows because it's being given life through your consciousness. Money also mirrors how you deal with emotions like control, trust, and surrender. People who try to control money too tightly often come from fear, and that fear becomes an energetic barrier that blocks new flow. They may save aggressively, calculate endlessly, and still feel unsafe. Others who spend recklessly are often seeking emotional release, using money to fill an inner void. Both patterns are symptoms of imbalance. The key is to build a relationship with money that mirrors emotional balance, discipline without fear, freedom without recklessness. In that equilibrium, money thrives because it feels both respected and trusted. The mindset you hold toward money determines how easily it can multiply. A person who believes that money is energy approaches it with curiosity and flow. They understand that money comes through people, ideas, and opportunities, not from a single source. When they lose money, they don't panic because they know energy cannot disappear. It simply shifts form. That belief allows them to stay calm and attract new opportunities faster. On the other hand, someone who sees money as limited, fixed, or scarce panics when it moves away. That panic sends a signal of contraction, which pushes money further out of reach. The energy of money prefers stability, not emotional turbulence. Your financial results are not random. They are a reflection of how consistently your mindset aligns with abundance. You can't create wealth with a mindset of fear. You can't attract freedom while vibrating in control. You can't build flow while living in resistance. The outer world simply obeys the energy of your inner world. That's why real financial transformation begins with internal awareness, not external action. If your mind is restless, scattered, or doubtful, your financial outcomes will mirror that confusion. When your thoughts are calm, focused, and clear, your results become orderly and consistent. You don't need to chase money when you understand that it's already responding to you. Just like water flows to lower ground, money flows toward minds that are open, relaxed, and receptive. Tension pushes it away, peace draws it in. Think of how you feel around people who are desperate or controlling. You instinctively want to pull back. Money feels the same way. It doesn't want to stay where it's being grasped at. It gravitates toward those who understand its rhythm, who treat it as an ally rather than a prize. The more consciously you interact with money, the more it reveals about your inner world. When you look at your spending patterns, you can see your priorities. When you observe your saving habits, you can see your fears. When you notice your reactions to gain or loss, you can see your emotional conditioning. Money simply mirrors your mental patterns in visible form. If you want to change the mirror, you have to change the image it's reflecting. That's why mindset work is the foundation of financial transformation. You can't fix external problems without addressing the beliefs that created them. Every time you make a financial decision, you're communicating with money. Your emotions tell it how to behave. If you pay bills with frustration, money learns that leaving you causes pain and it hesitates to return. But if you pay them with gratitude, knowing that every payment keeps your life in flow, money feels appreciated and returns multiplied. The same is true when you receive money. If you downplay it, doubt it, or feel undeserving, you weaken the connection. But if you receive it with joy, confidence, and thankfulness, you strengthen the bridge. That emotional bridge becomes the pathway through which more money flows. To treat money as living energy is to understand that it has memory and rhythm. It remembers how it's treated. It mirrors the energy of your habits. It feels the difference between panic and trust, between greed and gratitude. You can't fake your vibration. Money knows the truth of your relationship with it. When you align your mindset with abundance, you stop seeing money as something outside yourself. You start seeing it as an extension of your energy, an expression of your discipline, your awareness, and your emotional state. The more you respect that connection, the more naturally and effortlessly the energy of money reflects prosperity back towards you. Build a conscious, respectful relationship with your finances. The way you relate to money reveals how you relate to life itself. Most people operate in unconscious patterns when it comes to money. They either chase it obsessively or avoid it entirely. Some treat it with fear, others with greed, some with guilt, and very few with genuine respect. But money, like any form of energy, responds best to awareness. The more conscious and respectful you become in your financial relationship, the more stability and flow it brings. Money is not meant to be feared or worshipped. It's meant to be understood. It wants attention, not obsession. It wants respect, not control. It wants partnership, not servitude. When you build a conscious relationship with your finances, you begin to see money as an ally in your personal growth. Every transaction becomes a mirror showing your state of mind. When you spend unconsciously, it reveals areas of emotional escape. When you earn but can't keep what you make, it reveals patterns of self-sabotage. When you save excessively out of fear, it shows your attachment to control. But when you manage money with mindfulness, you shift from reacting to creating. You start making choices based on clarity instead of emotion, and that clarity transforms your financial reality. Conscious money management isn't about numbers first, it's about awareness first. The numbers only reflect the level of awareness behind them. Respect for money begins with gratitude. Most people overlook this simple truth. They complain about what they don't have while ignoring what's already flowing through their lives. Gratitude changes your emotional frequency from lack to abundance. It transforms paying bills into an act of appreciation for the services and support that money provides. When you thank money for serving its purpose, you strengthen your relationship with it. It's like acknowledging a friend who's always been there quietly helping you. The more you appreciate it, the more it wants to stay. Money gravitates toward those who recognize its value without idolizing it. A respectful relationship with money also means understanding boundaries. Money doesn't respond well to chaos. If your spending is erratic or your goals unclear, your financial energy becomes scattered. Respect means structure. It means knowing where your money goes, why it goes there, and what outcome it serves. It means taking time to plan, budget, and review, not as a chore, but as a ritual of alignment. Just as you wouldn't neglect a friendship, you shouldn't neglect your financial awareness. The time you give to understanding your finances is an investment in stability. Conscious attention creates order, and order attracts more flow. The unconscious mind often carries old emotional imprints about money, stories of struggle, guilt, or unworthiness. These stories shape how you behave financially without realizing it. Maybe you spend impulsively to feel temporary freedom, or maybe you save excessively because you fear loss. These patterns aren't financial problems, they're emotional ones showing up through money. When you become conscious of them, you gain the power to change them. Every time you catch yourself reacting emotionally around when you have an opportunity to evolve. That's what a conscious relationship is. It's not about being perfect with money. It's about being aware of your energy while dealing with it. Respect also means emotional neutrality. People who constantly stress about money create turbulence in their financial flow. Worry, frustration, or desperation are forms of disrespect because they imply a lack of trust in the cycle of life. When you trust that money will flow as long as you stay aware and aligned, you calm the energy around it. Neutrality doesn't mean indifference. It means balance. You don't overreact when money leaves, and you don't become reckless when it arrives. You stay steady, grateful, and mindful. That steadiness builds magnetic power. Money feels safe around calm energy. It doesn't stay where there's fear or chaos. It stays where there's confidence and peace. Consciousness in finances also involves honesty. Many people lie to themselves about their financial reality, ignoring debts, avoiding bank statements, or exaggerating income. But money can only grow where truth exists. The moment you become honest about where you stand financially, you create a foundation for change. Avoidance keeps you stuck. Awareness sets you free. When you face your financial truth without judgment, you begin to rebuild trust with yourself. And that self-trust is what allows you to make smarter, stronger decisions moving forward. Money is a reflection of trust, both the trust you have in yourself and the trust you project toward the flow of life. Another dimension of respect is intentional use. When you spend money consciously, you tell the universe that you value both the giver and the receiver. Every dollar becomes a declaration of purpose. Unconscious spending weakens your energy because it leaks attention, but intentional spending strengthens it. When you buy something that truly serves your growth or brings real joy, you amplify abundance. When you spend to escape emotions or impress others, you diminish it. Conscious money flow is not about restriction, it's about alignment. You allow money to move through your life in ways that reflect your values, not your impulses. Respect also means giving money a purpose beyond personal comfort. When you use money to create value, whether through service, generosity, or creation, it multiplies its energy. Money loves circulation through contribution. It grows where it's used wisely and shared purposefully. Giving doesn't reduce your wealth, it activates it. It proves to your subconscious that you have enough to share, and that belief invites even more. But the key is awareness, giving out of abundance, not guilt. Conscious generosity is not sacrifice, it's expansion. To build a respectful financial relationship, you must also heal your language about money. Words carry vibration, and many people speak about money in ways that weaken their energy. Phrases like, "I'm broke," "I can't afford it," or "money doesn't stay with me" become affirmations of scarcity. Your subconscious records these statements as truth and repeats them as experience. Replace them with words that reflect stability and confidence. Say, "Money flows easily into my life," "I am capable of managing wealth," or "I attract opportunities that expand my financial growth." Over time, your language rewires your emotional association with money, shifting it from struggle to cooperation. Building a conscious and respectful relationship with money requires patience. It's not an overnight process, it's a daily dialogue between your inner world and your outer reality. Every choice, every thought, every feeling becomes part of that conversation. When you make money decisions with awareness and gratitude, when you manage it with clarity and care, when you treat it as a trusted companion instead of an unpredictable force, it begins to trust you back. Money starts to respond not with chaos, but with order, not with stress, but with ease, not with absence, but with presence. That's the silent reward of respect. It transforms your relationship with money from survival into harmony. Call your money by name to attract it with clarity and confidence. Most people talk about money as if it were a distant object, something separate from their identity and energy. They chase it, they complain about it, they fear losing it, and yet they never form a direct personal relationship with it. But the moment you begin to call money by name, to speak to it as if it were a living force that listens, your entire energetic connection to it changes. Money is not diff. It responds to the language of your emotion, the vibration of your confidence, and the precision of your intention. Calling money by name is not about superstition or fantasy. It's about communicating directly with the energetic frequency that money represents. It's about removing the emotional distance between you and the flow of abundance and claiming your place in that conversation consciously and confidently. When you call your money by name, you're acknowledging its presence. You are giving it identity, attention, and respect. You are signaling to your subconscious mind that money is not something that happens to you. It's something that responds to you. Just as you would not ignore someone you wish to build a relationship with, you cannot ignore money and expect it to grow. The act of naming and addressing your money personalizes your connection with it. It brings your financial awareness out of the realm of abstract numbers and into the realm of energy and intention. Money loves clarity, and naming it gives that clarity a voice. This process begins with language. The way you speak about money determines the energy you project toward it. When you say, "I never have enough," "it's hard to make money," or "money slips away," you are calling it by words of scarcity. You are labeling it as distant, difficult, and untrustworthy. Those words carry vibration, and money mirrors the vibration they hold. But when you shift your language to "money flows to me easily," "I am in harmony with wealth," or "my money works for me," you are calling it by name in a way that invites it closer. You are affirming a relationship built on cooperation, not conflict. Every word you speak about money either calls it in or pushes it away, and the difference lies in the confidence and clarity behind your voice. Calling your money by name also means being specific about what you want from it. Money doesn't respond to vague desire. Saying, "I want more money," is like shouting into an empty room. It has no direction. But when you say, "I am calling 10,000 into my life for this specific purpose," the energy becomes focused. You give money a role, a purpose, and a reason to appear. Energy responds to direction, not confusion. The more precise your call, the faster the alignment happens. That's why goal setting works when it's emotionally charged. The emotion becomes the fuel, and the clarity becomes the map. When you speak to money with clear intention, you create a path for it to follow. Confidence is the magnet in this process. If you call money with doubt, it senses hesitation. If you call it with guilt, it senses resistance. But if you call it with calm certainty, it hears authority. Confidence doesn't mean arrogance. It means trust in your ability to receive. Money responds to confidence because confidence is a sign of emotional safety. Money wants to stay where it's welcomed without fear. When you confidently speak about your finances, when you express gratitude even before the results show up, you're demonstrating trust in the flow of energy. That trust turns into attraction. The stronger your emotional certainty, the faster money aligns with you. You can also call your money through visualization. Imagine it as energy surrounding you, waiting for permission to enter your life. Picture yourself addressing it directly, speaking to it with warmth and clarity. "You belong with me. You are safe here. You flow through me with purpose." This isn't fantasy. frequency. It's energetic communication. You are instructing your subconscious to align with the frequency of abundance, to open emotional channels that allow opportunities, ideas, and resources to reach you. Visualization is not about pretending, it's about attuning your energy to what you are ready to receive. When you visualize and name your money, you are essentially creating an energetic handshake between your intention and the flow of the universe. Another part of calling your money by name is creating awareness around it. Know where your money is, what it's doing, and how it's growing. Ignorance creates distance, but awareness strengthens connection. When you check your accounts consciously, track your inflows and outflows, and stay engaged with your numbers, you are in conversation with your money. You are saying, I see you, I value you, I am ready to guide you. Money moves toward attention. The more awareness you bring to it, the more responsive it becomes. People who ignore their finances often experience stagnation or loss, not because they are unlucky, but because neglect is a silent form of rejection. Attention, on the other hand, is magnetic. It pulls energy closer. Emotion plays a key role in this communication. When you think of your money, what emotion arises? Is it anxiety, guilt, or confidence? Every feeling is a frequency, and money reads emotion better than words. If you associate money with fear, it hesitates to flow because fear blocks energy. But when you associate it with excitement, gratitude, and freedom, it feels invited. Think of your emotional tone as the sound of your call. When the tone is clear and confident, money hears it easily. When the tone is filled with tension, the message gets distorted. That's why emotional alignment is essential. You can't attract abundance while vibrating in scarcity. You must call your money from the energy of already having it, not from the energy of needing it. There's also a powerful shift that happens when you give your money purpose. Name your money not just as wealth, but as freedom, creation, contribution, or impact, whatever resonates with your deeper values. Money needs direction. When it knows where it's going and why, it moves faster. For example, when you decide that a portion of your income supports your growth, another supports others, and another builds stability, you're calling money with structure. You're giving it a mission, and energy always accelerates toward purpose. Random energy scatters, directed energy multiplies. When you treat money as something you can speak to, you begin to dismantle the illusion of separation. You realize that you are not working for money, you are working with it. It becomes a creative partner, not a master. This mindset shift releases tension and allows money to flow naturally. When you call money by name, you are essentially affirming that abundance is personal, not external. You're declaring ownership over your financial narrative. That declaration is powerful because it shifts you from passive to active energy, from waiting to commanding, from hoping to knowing. Calling your money by name is also an act of self-worth. It's a statement that you are worthy of communicating with abundance directly. People who feel undeserving avoid this connection. They feel money is something reserved for others. But when you speak to your money as you're alive, you reclaim your right to wealth. You stop chasing it from desperation and start receiving it from alignment. You stop begging and start building. You stop doubting and start directing. Confidence becomes your currency, clarity your strategy, and communication your channel. Every time you talk to your money, whether in thought, speech, or intention, remember that it's listening. It listens to your emotions when you pay a bill, to your tone when you discuss finances, to your mindset when you make decisions. The clearer and calmer you are, the stronger the response. When you call your money by name with respect, confidence, and clarity, you activate a partnership that moves in rhythm with your energy. You no longer chase money. You converse with it, guide it, and allow it to flow exactly where your awareness leads it.